Yo, what's good, man? This is SH4MEL. You know, we always doing fly shit, adding Sky Miles up. 617, Boston. Shout out to Gully TV. Private Dreamer video coming out June 28th on YouTube. You already know.
Yeah. So what, it's like a funeral up there right now?
You know, white folks is mad.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I expected them to pull that shit off. Yo.
Nah, after they lost, I seen that. I'm not into sports. I don't really watch ball, but like, I went out that night and I watched the game, and my man was telling me like when they lose, he's like, that's it, because they don't got the experience. They're young.
Right.
So he was saying like, give them another year or two, they're gonna be running shit.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
No doubt. Tell me something about the history of, to your recollection, to your knowledge, Boston hip hop. You the first Boston artist I had on here ever. I done met a few niggas. I met Smoke. Yeah. Met a few guys from up there.
Yeah.
But you the first to sat in that chair. So yeah.
All
to
right.
your knowledge, tell me your understanding of hip hop in Boston.
Yeah, when I moved into Boston, because I wasn't born or raised there, but when I came into the scene, we had like Smoke Bolger, Frankie Wainwright, Smiley. You had Dre Robinson at the time. Even Millie's back then too. His name was coming up. Rock Ducati, that was Bolger's brother. That's who I know of like right when I came there, and that was probably like early 2000s. You know what I mean? They were doing their thing. Like I remember, cause I went to school with Smoke Bolger's brothers. So like I would, you know, hear music from them, and then like I would see him in the city where I lived at, and you know like they would bring Dipset out there, Jim Jones, whoever was popping at the time. You know what I mean? So they were doing their thing back then. You know what I mean?
Did you have you had the pleasure of meeting any of those guys you named?
Oh yeah.
Mills.
Yeah. Not Millie's. I seen him around. Cause he's like from the area where my boy grew up at over in the coast. So like I'll see him around. Bolger I met a few times in the barbershop. Frankie Wainwright, I used to work with their team. This is when I first started producing. I was like 15 years old. So I was under the CEO of the record label, this dude named Red. I was under his wing. Right. So I got to like work with a lot of their camp.
I hear such a notorious reputation about racism and shit like that in Boston.
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Yeah, they call you nigga out there real quick.
For real?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had to fuck a couple of people up calling me nigga. Like, recently, like, I was on a train and there's, you know, white dudes out there. See, the thing is, it's like, racism up there is kind of like subtle, but it's not. Like, the white folks up there, like, they'll play with you kind of like they're your friend, but I understand like how they operate. They'll play like they're your friend and they're cool with you, but then, you know, they're calling you nigga behind your back, and then if you piss them off or you rub them the wrong way, they quick to say nigga, or they do like slick shit. Like they'll try you, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I see a lot of like shit like that. So yeah, Boston is pretty racist. Just even history wise, like in the 70s and the 60s, they had the school integration, shit like that. So Boston, yeah,
pretty racist. Have you encountered, that hasn't hindered you with music? I mean, y'all work together. I'm pretty sure you work with white producers and shit like that. Yeah. So everybody ain't on it, but traditionally, they have that name.
I would say a lot of the older people, you know what I mean? Again, Boston is predominantly like Irish and Italian. So, you know, you're gonna get that. You know what I mean? You're gonna get that kind of that shit going on up there.
What part of the city you from?
I lived all over Mass, just in general. But when I first moved there, we lived in Roxbury. Then I grew up on the outskirts. I mainly went to high school, like in Everett. Right. Then I moved back into the city. I lived in Roxbury, like on like nearby Humboldt Park. Okay. And then I moved to Roslindale. So like those were the areas I lived in and out of Boston. And then in Mass in general, I lived in Worcester. I lived in Lowell. My pops just moved up to Lowell. Even the South Shore, like Brockton.
Right.
You know what I mean? I stayed in Springfield for a little bit, so I've been all over Mass. You know.
In Roxbury, is it landmarked? The areas, the sets, the house where Malcolm X lived or anything?
Oh yeah, Dale Street. Yeah, so where I stayed at Humboldt, it's right there. You know what I mean? Literally walking distance.
Oh, it's like, a street.
Yeah, Dale Street.
That's where Malcolm stayed.
Yeah.
Is the house still there?
Yeah.
Word?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's still there. Yep. And then funny, not even funny, but like when we moved there, my grandfather took me to meet Farrakhan at the mosque there over in Grove. I was like, it was kind of overwhelming. Okay. You know, because I was really young, so just seeing how like other men reacted to him when he came into the room, and then him speaking to me, like he sat down with me because I was maybe the only kid in there, and just the conversation he had with me was very just overwhelming. But then as I got older, like understanding who he was, and I figured it out, I was like, wow, you know, my grandfather really put me in that position. My boy got me this program for the computer, Fruity Loops, and I just started making beats. What led me into rapping, I didn't like how like certain artists I worked with, how they was rapping on beats, and I just felt like I could do it different, so I just started rapping.
Okay. What year did you make your first track? What year did you step in the booth? Let me know how long you've been doing this.
Yeah, I want to say officially 16. Yeah, like I was paying for studio time, and I made songs about sneakers and shit like that, me and my boys, and then I saved up some money, and then I started building my own studio at my grandmother's house. Okay. And that was history. So 16 years old, yeah.
As of now, what you getting the most traction as an MC or producer?
Definitely MC. It's rapping now, yeah, because I actually enjoy it. You know, before I was doing it like, you know what I mean? I just want people to hear my beats and shit. Right. But now it's like I like doing it, and I feel like I'm good at it too.
I checked you out. Do people understand that you from Boston after hearing you?
Yeah.
Do they? Cause you can't hear you don't have an accent. You don't you don't too much have an accent.
Yeah.
So can people pinpoint? You have to tell them where you from and all of that.
Yeah, like I said, like I didn't grow up in I grew up in Boston, but I'm not from there. And then my family, we from Connecticut and New York. So you know what I mean? Like, and that's where I came from. I was born in Connecticut, and then I lived in New York, and then we moved to Boston. But like yeah, like people just like, oh, that's dope. Like you coming from out of the city, because it's a small city. There's not a lot of people, you know, making moves like that. There's only a handful of people, but very talented. There's a lot of talent in that city. You know what I'm saying?
The spelling of your name, very unique. Give me the math behind that.
Yo, be straight up. I didn't want my like government name to come out, so I just put a 4 on it. Yeah, like people think it's some deep shit or something like that. My name is SH4MEL. I just put a 4 there because I was like, fuck it.
You didn't think they was gonna find out your name?
I don't know. At the time, it made sense. I was just like,
so you just rocking that.
Yeah. And that's what it is. I just put the 4 there, but a lot of people think it's some deep shit behind it or whatever.
Right. I hear a couple of different, I don't know, influences in your sound and shit. Yeah. Well, from the horse's mouth, tell me who influencing you today. Past and present.
Past and present.
You know what I mean?
Man, it's hard. Lately, I've been listening to, as of now, I've been listening to a lot of Bay Area rap. So I've been listening to Jacka. I listen to like HD, Bareface, Jay Stalin. Like I listen to a lot of that. Growing up, I listened to 50 Cent, you know, Dipset, Cameron. That was one of my favorites, Max B. So that, and then just hanging around my dad, he put me on a Raekwon. So I was listening to him a lot. Yeah, that's what I would say most part, rapping wise. Producer, Pharrell, Madlib, Alchemist, Ninth Wonder, you know.
Besides you, who rhyming on SH4MEL's production these days? Some names who you working with?
Man, I made beats for Rock Marcy, Logic. I worked with Light from Pac Div, J.K. the Reaper. He's with Denzel Curry. Trying to think who else. I worked with. He was in GBE with Chief Keef. His name was SD. Man, I worked with A1 from San Francisco. A lot. I'm trying to think just off top. That's all I could come up with right now.
How the relationship with Rock, how did that develop?
My boy did a song with him, and he wanted me to produce for it. You know, I ended up making the beat on that, and that's how that happened. It was just a feature.
Name of the track?
Dice Game.
It's out here?
Yeah, it's out.
Who all on it? Who featured on it?
My boy Payway H, or he went as Hadij at the time, but now it's Payway H, so it's called Dice Game.
Featuring Rock?
Yeah, featuring Rock. That came out 2019.
Where your man from? He from Boston too?
Yeah, he's from Boston. Yeah, South End.
How the independent grind has been to you? See, you got your website, you moving around, coming from according to hip hop, almost parts unknown. How are you establishing yourself? And tell me, the steps you're taking to get your name out there. Besides appearing here, whatever other platforms you've been on, tell me about your grind.
Yeah, the grind is just it's a lot of work. I would say just learning the business in general is always something new to it, and you gotta adapt quickly, and just always being willing to invest in yourself, because I do a lot of investing in myself. A lot of this is coming out my own pocket. Everywhere you see me, like, this is me. You know, I've been Underground Hip Hop Blog. You know what I mean? That was most recent. You know what I'm saying? And then you just running a label, because this is a label. You know what I mean? Buy Your Dreams LLC is a label. So, and then branching off of that, I have another business. We're doing filming as well too. So, you know what I mean? It's just it's a lot, but it's good to be independent. You know what I mean? I got control of everything. I had opportunities to get deals and stuff like that, and it just wasn't right. You know what I mean? I shoot all my videos. That's all me, and then I shoot other artists' videos. Like I'll see on the internet, I did videos for Rim, Eddie Kane, with Rome Streets, Jamal Gasol. So like, shooting music videos, and then as well as doing, I'm working my way into corporate, you know what I mean? Like, I've done photo shoots as well in short videos for like a science lab. They do testing and for like weed products and things like that. So I worked in that field, but more so in corporate now. That's what we're leaning towards.
When does the Bum Rush begin, this new project?
June 28th.
Give me all the details.
Yeah, Love for All Who Got Love for Me. You know what I'm saying? It's an EP, 7 tracks. Single dropping June 28th. Got a video too. I shot that in DR. We was just chilling. Something light on the resort, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be official.
You did all the production on EP?
No. On this one, I collab with K Fisher. He produces a lot of shit for Larry June. Worked with Burns Beats, my man's Kev Samples. So that's what's on the project right there. But videos, I shot all the videos, edited, mixed the track, mastered it. That's all me.
Any other MCs featured on the project?
Nah, just me.
Head up, huh?
Yeah, just me.
As of today, how many projects you got under your belt?
Official projects that's out. Professional. Should I be losing count? I want to say 6.
6?
Yeah.
Out of them 6, what would you say is your Illmatic or your Reasonable Doubt? What's your crown jewel?
Yeah, Buy Your Dreams and Sell Your Soul. That was like my very first official tape. That was like 19 songs. I did that when I was between the age of 19 and 20. Put that out. So that, and I produced a lot of them joints on there too.
Well, these days they choose to approach the hip hop game as a unit. You kind of like moving as a soloist. Tell me what curved your decision and shaped your decision to do that. Was it always like that? You know, was you always dolo? You never rhyme with nobody else or nothing like that?
Yeah, no, it's me and my mans. I started out as a group. I had a rap group. We went on tour. We was the Vader Boys. And this is me in my teens. But I'm always the type of person that I need to get it done now, and we need to move quick. I don't like waiting on people. I like to just move how I need to move, and I know what needs to be done, and people's work ethic doesn't match mine. So it's very hard to get people around me like that who have that intensity. So I'd rather just put it in my own hands. You know, that's why I started shooting videos. That's why I had to mix my own songs and make my own beats. I do everything because I don't have time to be waiting on people. I'm trying to get this shit done, and let's go, let's work.
That's what threw me into the director's chair.
Yeah.
I used to have to go to, I would shoot my footage. I thought that was, relatively easy. I'm a lot better now. But I would take it to somebody else, and we would sit down at the computer together.
Yeah.
And I would pretty much direct him and tell him what I wanted done. And he would edit it. Over time, after being there, sitting there, watching him all the years and shit, I kind of had the basic concepts of it, and I believe I tried my first video production back in the MySpace era. I was using Windows Movie Maker or something like that. Yeah. But gradually I started to go through the process of learning them, and then eventually you learned that all of them are basically the same. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was my exact same story. Guys couldn't keep up. They didn't share the same passion. So
just gotta get shit done. That's just how I am. So I gotta do it on my own. That's just how I am until people start, believing in the vision. I got lucky enough. I got people around me that, they see what I'm trying to do and they're moving along. So it's working. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that just goes out to anybody. You want to get something, you just gonna have to go out there and do it on your own. Right. That's it.
Now tell me about this pair of Reebok pumps, man. How you came up on the pumps?
Yeah. So you seen that in the video with Mikey Rocks. So I just landed. I was in LA. I just came back home, and we had to shoot a video, and I needed some sneakers. I went into Evelyn's and I just happened to see the pumps, and they just happened to have it in my size. I paid 80 bills for them, which was crazy too. And that was it. Got lucky.
That scene, the slow motion scene when they appear in the you edited that?
Yeah, I edited it.
Put them in the slow motion and
shit. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
Some niggas know what's up.
That shot right there, it just sets the tone for the whole video, man. Yeah. This nigga better come with some bars. Yeah. Doing some shit like that. What's the name of that joint?
Oh, so I wore them in 2 videos. Cause they that fresh. You just had to, you gotta bust them out.
Man, fuck it.
So on that one you talking about is Opals. Yeah. And my boy Kev Samples produced that, but I
tend to ask a lot of the independent artists this question, but and I get different answers. I want to hear what you got to say. Yeah. How did you build your momentum? You understand what I'm saying? Record music, you put it where, develop the fan base where. Tell me the process. If somebody wanted to start from the ground up, tell them what they would do today.
It's kind of hard because it's not with me, it was trial and error. So for artists that's coming up, it's going to be trial and error. I guess there's certain steps you may have to take. And that's one, just understanding your audience. If you know your audience, that's 80% of the battle right there. 80 right there. You know what I mean? It's understanding your audience and investing. I think those are the 2 major things. I could sit here and tell you what I did, and it may not work for you. You know what I mean? And I bumped my head 1,000,000 times, and you're going to have to deal with that. So that's another thing, too. You really got to love this shit, and you're going to take a lot of fucking L's. You know what I mean? So, trial and error, understanding your audience, and being consistent, and investing in yourself. I would say those are the key things of doing this, and that's how like I built up my traction and still building. You know what I mean?
Right. Back in the day, everybody had this big, you know, I don't know, goal of being signed. That's something that you would hear on like, I'm trying to get signed, I'm trying to get a deal, I'm trying to get a deal.
Yeah.
Is that over with? Is that part of the, is that over with? Because I see so many people recording music in their garage and shit like that. And boom, they on and popping and shit.
Yeah.
Is that part of the game obsolete? Like, do people even think about that? I'm gonna get on it, Universal gonna pick me up, or Maybach Music gonna grab me. Like, is that still a reality?
I think I've came across people that's their mentality still. Like they're trying to get a label look, and then there's people who understand the game. Now labels is not all bad if you have leverage and you understand what you want out of it. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers just be jumping in and they just want to be on and they want to look and they want fame and all that, and like it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna get fucked like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's still people that think like that. I see them, and then there's people like me. Like I rather, if I have leverage, then I'll consider, you know what I mean? Or if it's something where like I'm gonna benefit and it's best for my brand, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. But otherwise than that, nah, I'd rather just take the long road.
Rochester, New York. Was that your first time out there recently?
Yeah, I went out there to do a video song with Etho, and yeah, it was dope. He took us around, he showed us like where he grew up at, and you know where he got his name up in, shit like that, and we shot some scenes all through Rochester. Yeah, that video is called Pulp Fiction.
Y'all got a song together?
Yeah.
What project is on? It's just a single, you just put it out?
Yeah, we just put it out. Yeah, I produced it too. I shot the video on my iPhone. This is before I had the Sony camera. I shot it off my iPhone. And then I produced it as well. I produced it on my phone too.
How you meet him?
Just reaching out online. Just reached out to him on IG and we sent him the song and he was fucking with it. So
you went out there to the compound, they got that big warehouse?
Nah, I think he just got that. I'm not sure. Like, but we was at his studio. We got him from there, and then he just took us around the city. Yeah, you can find me SH4MEL.com. That's SH4MEL.com. Follow me on IG at SH4MEL_. Twitter SH4MEL again SH4MEL. Follow me on there. You already know.
Appreciate you coming through, man. We're looking forward to great things from you. Your videos, they're crazy.
Appreciate that.
Cause I do cinema.
Yeah.
And the shit that you rapping about,
yeah,
it's a good thing that you the nigga who actually get to project the whole visual behind it.
Yeah.
So yeah. You're definitely putting the visuals and them words together.
Thank you.
Like a marriage, Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on your platform.
No doubt. Peace.